Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. Go ahead, hit the like, hit the share. This video, we're going to talk about Meg the Stallion and the hypocrisy that we have seen surrounding the latest tabloid news. I find it very Twilight Zone-ish looking at everybody's feedback considering what happened to Meg the Stallion, considering how everybody felt just last year when it comes to these false allegations against R. Kelly. I find it very funny how people want to talk about this no snitching policy, no working with snitches, but it's okay for certain people to do so. It's just mighty strange how all these people are so full of hypocrisy, and even to give us the bullshit narrative that nobody cares about the black woman. Well, nobody cares about the black male either. What does it say when society turns its eye to the fact that in the past, for some strange reason, parents were allowed to drop their kids off hoping for fame and not taking responsibility for the things that would happen to them? What does it say when people go out their way to violate a man's rights and so-called mute him when no other artist, no other political figure, no other public figure has had to face such backlash, even those that have been convicted of crimes? Isn't it strange how all those people that once cheered R. Kelly on are now stone cold silent about the injustice he now faces, or either are talking against him, never mind the fact that they were once in the background cheering him on? I wonder what John Legend has to say about his wife's latest scandal, comparing her to Epstein. You got all these celebrities who adored R. Kelly a couple years ago, but then after watching a docuseries, they have deemed this man guilty, even though he has not been convicted. All these people who once got a boost in their career through their association with R. Kelly, all those people that he shouted out and thought were his close friends in the industry, all those people that call themselves good friends, that have yet to defend this man's honor. Even those people who are capitalizing on the storyline of his downfall, when they have their own problems they should be addressing. You see, no one ever wants to wish harm on anyone, of course, but you have to recognize that all those people that once spoke so bad about R. Kelly are now on the other side of the foot. What kind of sense does it make to stand behind a woman such as Oprah, who has turned a blind eye towards all those people in Hollywood in which she knows for a fact are guilty of abuse and pedophilia? However, her and her partner decided that they would use certain individuals to offset the scandal that her friends would face. And I say friends lightly because even when it comes to Michael Jackson and Russell Simmons, they thought they were friends with Oprah, but we see how that turned out. Meanwhile, she continued to mix and mingle with the likes of people who are definitely guilty of child abuse and pedophilia. What does it say when they sit here and convince you all to mute R. Kelly? However, Disney, Lifetime, all these other organizations that have people working for them that are guilty of pedophilia, they haven't been muted. All these artists that turned around and said, mute R. Kelly, they support these women. What about those he's wrote music for? They aren't muting themselves. But let's be real about it. They don't really want to mute R. Kelly. They just didn't want him to benefit off of his music. But at the end of the day, we all know his catalog is worth billions. Then you have these celebrities such as Nick Cannon, who, even though they know how the game works, they want to selectively speak out on certain things and turn a blind eye on the next. And then want you to be so vocal when they face something similar, such as realizing that just like the next celebrity, they are no different. They are a slave just like the rest. What does it say when you can sit here and call out one person and then turn a blind eye to the allegations made against the next person? Same allegations, but yet people are supposed to take these hypocrites serious. Makes no sense. Then you got the council that are representing some of these victims in the R. Kelly case and the Weinstein case, both doing everything in their powers to try to silence the victims for Weinstein and Epstein, but yet we see how that works for R. Kelly's victim. They're being allowed to further taint this man's ability to get a fair trial. That's the one thing that has concerned many people supporting R. Kelly, considering they've come out with the docuseries, they're doing the interviews, they've done the book deals, they're doing all this to promote this story. So at what point do you start to realize that they are definitely infringing upon R. Kelly's rights to get a fair trial? Yet everybody is turning a blind eye to that. You got these celebrities trying to get their momentum up for these little shows and podcasts they're trying to do, but they forget their secrets that come to the forefront while trying to throw salt on the next person's name. Especially when it comes to people like Jada Pinkett, who will sit here and encourage these fake ass victims against R. Kelly. But why don't they reach out to the victims that are out here that they know of for real? Like, for example, Jada Pinkett sitting here after interviewing the surviving R. Kelly victim, Lisa Van Allen, and her daughter. I'm sorry, I said surviving R. Kelly victim, alleged victim, better yet, let's just say accuser. After interviewing her and her daughter, she wants to come out and tell the world about her addiction to porn. Never mind the person she broadcast is guilty of intentionally giving people syphilis. Yet, why don't she talk to those victims? Why didn't she take the time to get to know these victims? Why didn't anybody take the time to get to know the background of any of these people accusing R. Kelly of the most heinous crimes, and then acting like because there's rumors out here that proves his guilt? There's always been rumors about celebrities. There was a rumor that Aaliyah was dating Genuine. If you do your math and do a little check, you will realize at the time she was freshly 17, on her way to 18 possibly. But at the end of the day, she was still 17 when she came out with One in a Million. Same time frame in which people were saying she was dating Genuine, who was an adult. Why ain't nobody talking about those rumors? Why ain't nobody talking about the rumors about Jay-Z, Foxy Brown, Jay-Z, Aaliyah? So many rumors that have come out. Why is it only certain ones get the attention? Then you got the celebrities that say they are or have appeared to be R. Kelly's friends that are quiet, that know just as well as they accuse R. Kelly of dating underage girls. That same thing could apply to a lot of people in the industry. But strangely, they only want to call out certain individuals. All the rumors that have come out about Jay-Z's shady business practices, about his alleged affairs, nobody's talking about that. People act like it's strange, it's rare for a woman to set up a man when, like I said last year, they sitting here letting these people promote a hot girl summer, city girl summer, and expect anything other than what we see today. What does it say when these people end up with charges themselves and then want to sit here and talk about how they should be presumed innocent and all this other bullshit when it comes to them, yet they're not giving that same courtesy to R. Kelly? What does it say when these celebrities know very well what these thoughts and industry groupies are all about, but remain quiet? What does it say when these groupies can violate the privacy of these celebrities at their whim and nobody prosecute them? We've sit here and heard all these stories about these groupies exposing these celebrities, yet they want to charge R. Kelly with sex trafficking. Guess what? Y'all need to go back and pull up those flight logs for all those groupies, all those Insta thoughts that were getting flued out last year. That's what y'all need to do. Since y'all want to target R. Kelly with sex trafficking, it's a whole lot of people in that ballpark. Okay? I find it very strange. All these people out here are complaining about people making money off R. Kelly, and at the same breath talking about R. Kelly needs financial assistance. Well, seems like to me some of these people should be contributing with some of these products and merchandise that they're promoting in his name, in his honor. Then you got all these tabloids, media sources making jokes. That again raises the question, how could anyone expect this man to get a fair trial? They joke about the priest being pedophiles, yet they get all this immunity when it comes to being charged. Makes no sense to me. They sit here and promote this thought-like behavior, and then if they can't find any other charge to bring against a man, they will enact any charge. How could you sit here and classify a man as a sex trafficker when they're not trafficking women? Usually you hear that term sex trafficking, you think of these girls that are allegedly being trafficked being sent out to different individuals. Yet it tells you clear as day, if you listen to the things these people say, he was so jealous they couldn't do this and do that. It makes no sense to try to classify him as a sex trafficker. What is the difference between charging him as a sex trafficker and charging these women who were very aware of everything going on with prostitution? By now, the hypocrisy is everywhere, from the entertainment industry to the political world. Many people have forgotten about the NXIVM cult. Well, just like R. Kelly's trial is starting in September, this man is supposed to be sentenced. Keith Rainier, he's supposed to be sentenced in September. Same time, they're making all this fuss about protecting this Ghislaine Maxwell. People haven't connected the dots yet. They haven't seemed to realize that this whole Epstein case is going to blow the waters out of a lot of people, politicians and celebrities. Those same type of celebrities willing to talk so bad about R. Kelly and what they think he did are the same people who can be tied back to Jeffrey Epstein. What does that say? If you haven't figured it out, Jeffrey Epstein, in my opinion, intentionally tried to use the girls that he was dealing with to blackmail these politicians into doing what he needed them to do. But with that same token, I find it very hypocritical for people to act like they got amnesia when it comes to even people like Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton, who also have great ties with Jeffrey Epstein, who also went out of their way to get a light sentence for this woman pictured, who, if y'all forgot, during the hurricane in Haiti, was out there stealing babies, trying to bring them across the states. Trafficking. From the beginning of this whole case with R. Kelly, I've said it, this whole United States of America was built off of trafficking, and it's still going on today. So for all these resources to be wasted in this case against R. Kelly, when if these people in these positions, such as the prosecutor Kim Fox, had done their fucking job and investigated these allegations before wasting the taxpayers' dollars and bringing this case, that should have been something people should be talking about. The fact that the Clintons have been involved in a lot of corruption over the last few years that has gone unnoticed because black people feel, for some strange reason, they are so much for us. Never mind, they are the same people that initiated mass incarcerations for us. While they slap people like them on the hand and send them on their way. Even our president has his own allegations and then comes out to say, well, he didn't really like Jeffrey Epstein. That's bullshit. It's too much out here that would prove otherwise. Because I definitely wouldn't be all up in the face of a person I didn't care for. But this is the type of stuff you get to witness from a bunch of hypocrites. They want to do their dirt and cast stones on the next person. Trump wants to talk so bad about Hillary Clinton, but he was very well aware of the things that Bill Clinton was doing. Just like he was very well aware of the things Epstein and all those people in the political field and in the celebrity world participate in that people turn a blind eye to. If you ask me, this case with Epstein, like I said, is going to blow a lot of people's minds when you realize all these celebrities that had so much to say have ties with Jeffrey Epstein, his plane, and his little private island. How hypocritical is it to fault the black man for having groupies, for having women willing to do the most for their affection and attention, but it's okay for other people to have that same crowd around them? Some people can have a harem. They say R. Kelly has a cult. Meanwhile, they praise the people who are involved in real cult-like activity, such as all those celebrities, such as Jada Pinkett and Will Smith, that have donated so much money to Scientology, which if you do your research on it, you will notice how much of a cult it really is. Even the fact that they're trying to say that this Ghislaine Maxwell can be tied back to this John Benet Ramsey is very crazy to me. But the icing on the cake, to go back to this, nobody cares about the black woman. We sat here and watched this political uprising that came about as a result of George Floyd. Where the fuck is that outrage for Breonna Taylor, who was in her home and murdered? What does it say when the police can bust in your fucking house, shoot you, and leave you to die? There is absolutely nothing to excuse the behavior of the officers involved in this woman's death. Yet, you know what they're doing? They're sitting here arresting people protesting peacefully and giving them felonies. Hey, that's what they wanted to do anyway. They listening to y'all say, defund the police. Go right ahead. They'll give you what you want. But if you ask me, it sounds like a setup for martial law. It sounds like a setup to sit here and charge people with felonies trying to peacefully exercise their rights to protest. This all just shows us how the world is full of hypocrites. From the justice system to the entertainment system. They want things to go one way for them and another way for the next. But is that really justice? Is it okay to have selective justice? Is it okay to target an individual who was acquitted of a crime throw bogus charges on them and turn a blind eye to his injustice. Someone had mentioned something about a wellness check, and just being honest, maybe some of you don't realize, as an inmate, you don't have any fucking rights. None. You can file a grievance report, but that's about it. Your family can request a wellness check on you while you're incarcerated. However, they don't have to rush and do any damn thing. You want to know why? Because according to them, their wellness checks are done when they do body counts. If some of you aren't aware, the correctional officers are supposed to periodically do body counts and do other things to ensure that they're keeping an eye on these inmates. Therefore, people demanding a wellness check, that's not really gonna get anywhere. Just give you an example. At one point in time, I had gotten arrested for driving unsuspended and had to spend 10 days in jail. The toilets were flooded. The food was terrible. I was sick as hell. And the phones didn't work. No matter how many grievance letters we put out, they took their time trying to get this communication device fixed. Meanwhile, there's so much going on the outside that people needed to be aware of. When my fiance had come to visit me, you know what they told him about the communication problem? To sign language. So at the end of the day, it's a lot that needs to be changed. It's a lot that needs to be reformed when it comes to these jail facilities. It's a lot that needs to be addressed that has been brushed under the rug for so many decades, and we have been complacent and complicit in watching others slandered and watching others struggle. But at the end of the day, we have the power to change it all. We keep asking for justice. We keep asking for all these things that are basic human rights. Why are we asking when we have the power to change it? Just think about that. And I'll leave this video off because I told a friend that I would share a video. But let me just put this disclaimer out right now, that just because I'm sharing this video and I support the person behind it, or at least who I think is behind it, does not mean that I support everybody that they support. Does not mean that I have anything to do with some of the people they have dealings with. I just want to clarify that right now. Because moving forward, like I've said before, I'm the type of person, once you cross me, it's a wrap. Because you had to have worked very hard to have crossed me. Therefore, you're going to stay on that bad side. We don't have to say one word to each other. At the end of the day, you don't have to work with someone technically in order to reach a common goal. Because for me, as I've said from the beginning, I'm the person who's doing a lot of the research. That's what I feel my duty is. So I'm not going to let nobody over here to the left try to make me feel no type of way because they may be in a position to do things in a different way. At the same time, I'm not going to associate myself with anybody that engages in any bully tactics or in anything that I feel like represents the man that I am supporting in a bad light. Now, a lot of people just wanted to see this video for specific reasons, but the only thing that I'm going to say about that is this. A lot of people have wasted so much time trying to prove points instead of being useful. And now that we're at the last little minute, people are starting to panic and feel some type of way. But to be honest, some of you should have felt some type of way all year long. But guess what? None of that is going to change the outcome, because God has the final word. And it's strange that a month before the trial starts, I'm hearing that R. Kelly's defense team is in need of more attorneys for the New York case. However, even that in itself is the perfect example of how so many people have been so busy trying to discredit the next that valuable information has been lost in transition. Nobody wants to contribute to a fund when every time you turn around you keep hearing about fraud and scamming and shit. So at the end of the day, for those of you feeling some type of way, just go look in the mirror, because you have yourself to blame. If it were me and I were in Chicago, since so many people want to talk about the Waffle House chick, I'm going to tell you, the Waffle House chick know how to hustle. I would have done a bake sale every week. If I was the person talking about I do t-shirts, I would have been posting these t-shirts, and all funds would be going to this specific cause. It's so much that could have been done over this last year, yet people have entertained bullshit. So at this particular time, I don't need nobody commenting what I need to do and who I need to work with, because I've already made myself very clear on who I'm not fucking with and why. Period. So with that being said, I'm going to share this last little clip, and I'm going to get ready for my next video. And my next video is going to be titled, Where is R. Kelly's Money? Because we already see the hypocrisy that I spoke on in this video. Now we're going to talk about what people keep avoiding. The issue at hand. Where is R. Kelly's money?
This is Gino V with FMP Radio Chicago. We are here live on Zoom with Steve Greenberg, the attorney for R. Kelly. How you doing, Steve?
I'm doing great. Nice, hot day.
Yes, it is very hot today in Chicago, right? One of the hottest it's been, and if you're from Chicago, you know it pretty much goes winter and summer, right? That's about all we get. We don't.
Road construction is now year round.
Yeah, road construction is another
season. Now
the season.
All year.
Yeah, that is so true. That is so true. But good to see you seem to be staying nice and cool. I see the view. There's you got a nice little bar in the background, so you're staying hydrated, huh?
Well, if you're in this line of work, you need it.
I hear you. So let's talk a little bit about R. Kelly and the fact that you are obviously on his legal team. Now, we've been hearing that there's two different teams, a Chicago team and a New York team. So can you tell us like what's going on as far as how the two teams are working together, or how you guys are working to defend R. Kelly?
Sure. I don't know that there's two different teams. The goal is to represent R. Kelly. The goal is to win the cases. The goal is to do what's best for him. Right. He was indicted in New York and Chicago at essentially the same time federally. There are two of us from Chicago, Mike Leonard and myself, who are working on both the Chicago case and the New York case. There are two additional lawyers in New York right now, Tom Farnell and Doug Anton, who are also working just on the New York case. They're not at all involved in the Chicago case. Really, the focus, though, is the New York case, because that's the case that's going to go to trial first. We have a trial date in September.
Okay.
And we're also interviewing for additional counsel for the New York case.
Gotcha. And speaking of that case, is that the one that we're being told is like the racketeering charges that they're bringing up, and using the RICO charge, which is normally reserved for like mafia related or gang related issues?
Right. What they're saying, RICO's got a couple of different aspects. The criminal side has been used traditionally to bring down street gangs, to bring down mob families, and the idea behind it was that people could no longer escape for ordering the hit, saying I wasn't at the murder.
Okay.
Setting up the people, employing the people to sell the drugs, and saying, well, I wasn't on the street corner selling the drugs. So what it requires what they call predicate acts, specific acts you do in furtherance of it. So for instance, if you assist somebody in committing one of the underlying crimes, it was never intended for this purpose. What they've done in this case is they've taken the RICO law and they've said that R. Kelly, the superstar, was a racketeering enterprise. And that racketeering enterprise consisted of Robert Sylvester Kelly. It consisted of the roadies. It consisted of his management. It consisted of everyone who came to his concerts, basically. Everyone who did anything, which is just a complete, I'm trying to think of a word that I can use, sure, even on a cable kind of show. It's not what the RICO law was intended to be. It's a bastardization of the law. Really, RICO cases have virtually no level of proof. While ordinarily they would have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the underlying crime occurred, in a RICO case, they just have to prove that you agree to try and commit the underlying crime. So it makes it much easier for them. Right. And what they've done, I'm sorry to be so long-winded, but what they've done is they've taken a series of otherwise consensual or misdemeanor acts, for the most part, and said, we're going to elevate these into some kind of a felony offense. So, for instance, they've taken some New York State misdemeanor crimes and said that these crimes are sex crimes. They're misdemeanor sex crimes. Okay. And the RICO Act just broadly refers to sex crimes. It doesn't differentiate between felonies and misdemeanors. So they're elevating these misdemeanors. It's, like I said, it's a bastardization of the law.
Sounds like it. Yeah, it sounds like that could be, if they're doing it that way, that's almost any band or any music group that's out there. So,
for instance, Keith Richards. Keith Richards, and I love the Rolling Stones, and I don't want to rip on Keith Richards, but Keith Richards was dating someone who was 16 years old. She traveled with the Rolling Stones. This was, I believe, in the 70s or 80s, but she traveled all over the world with him, and he eventually married her.
Wow.
I can point out, I actually have a list on my computer of different bands where somebody in the band was hooked up with someone underage. Now, I'm not saying Kells did that.
Right.
Oh, and we're going to contest that. But I'm saying that really they could, just like you said, indict almost any rock band.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's what it sounds like from what you're saying. Yeah, and that's totally unfair. And speaking of fair, how are they treating him in there? We've been hearing that he's not getting proper treatment, and he's not able to talk a lot to you or his team in particular. Has that changed in any way over the months? I know coronavirus plays a part, but is he being able to seek counsel? Is he getting a fair treatment in there? Do you know?
No, he's not at all. It's completely unfair. You said something about I had the bar behind me and I'm drinking coffee.
Sure.
Now, because we actually made a filing last night with the Second Circuit Court of Appeals at about 11:30 last night. We simply can't prepare for trial like this.
Right.
I have not, nor have any of the other attorneys, seen Robert face to face in 4+ months now.
Wow.
We get an occasional phone call with him. It takes weeks to exchange documents. There's no way you could do a case like this. It's like sending someone to do a Broadway play without having a single rehearsal. They're sending, a team into the Super Bowl as their first game. I mean, you have to have a chance to prepare. You have to have a chance to talk. You have to have a chance to ask questions, get answers. Right. And as long as he's in custody, that's just not going to happen. If we were able to meet with him, it's in a 10-foot by 6-foot room, how are you going to distance him there? How are you going to prepare with masks? We have to show him things. He's exposed every day to people in the institution. We don't know who they're exposed to. So for us as lawyers who raises health concern, but that applies to everyone who's locked up. It's not just Robert. It's a terrible situation. It's
Nobody. I don't give a damn what he. And by the way, nobody can go in a versus battle with R. Kelly in the world, living or dead. Y'all lucky he in trouble, motherfucker.
Wait, hold on. That's a good.
Nobody. Who you gonna call? Michael Jackson? No.
Beyonce?
Beyonce? No. Nobody got more hits than R. Kelly. Nobody. I'll wait.
Stevie Wonder's still alive.
He can't fuck with no R. Kelly.
Stevie Wonder.
Stevie Wonder can't fuck with no R. Kelly.
Stevie Wonder.
Let's keep it real, man. Nobody can fuck with R. Kelly when it come to hits. Nobody can battle him. Nobody. I don't give a damn what he did, who he fucked. I know he fucked up, but when it come to talent, we cannot take this away from R. Kelly. Because you don't take it away from Michael Jackson. So we ain't gonna take it away from R. Kelly.
Stevie Wonder.
Start me now.
Stevie Wonder.
Hell no.
Stevie Wonder.
R. Kelly got more hits than a motherfucker. R. Kelly, the truth.
Do you want me to start?
And he done wrote more hits too.
He wrote a lot of hits. I give you that.
And sung them. Yeah, man. R. Kelly started a generation. Niggas wasn't eating pussy till R. Kelly came out. He started this shit. He started us fucking like us fucking. Yeah, niggas wasn't eating pussy. No. Till R. Kelly. Keith Sweat was begging.
Yeah.
I love Keith Sweat, but he was begging.
Yeah.
You heard me? Everybody else, they wasn't talking about that. I was in the streets, as a child at that time.
Right, but you're
R. Kelly made it cool to freak.
Right.
And he made the hits on top. You can't take it away. Gospel hits, country hits. Hey, don't make me start now. He just fucked up right now. He can't defend himself. That's a bad motherfucker. You can't fuck with R. Kelly. I don't give a damn who he is.
Stevie Wonder. I'm still gonna hold on to this. Stevie Wonder is bad as hell. And he's still alive. People just forget, because here's the thing. You and I are a little bit too young to really appreciate Stevie Wonder in his prime. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Stevie Wonder was popping in the 70s.
I know. Probably. Okay, that's probably because I don't know, but I don't know 6, 7 Stevie Wonder songs.
Really? Isn't she lovely?
I know. But how many of you know of R. Kelly?
I just called to say I love you.
Lord, I just called to say I love you. I don't even know that.
You don't know?
I don't know that. Come on with Stevie.
Stevie Wonder's biggest hits. All right. Hold on.
You talking about Kills.
Higher Ground, Part-Time Lover, Ebony and Ivory. No?
Ebony and Ivory, never heard it.
You've never heard Ebony and Ivory.
Part-Time Lover, I never.
You're too young. That's the problem.
Probably.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Stevie Wonder is considered one of the greatest of all time. Right. Period.
Yeah, he can't fuck with R. Kelly.
And he was blind on top of that. Let's keep that in mind. Okay. Agree to disagree. I will agree to disagree.
Stevie Wonder, you could bring Michael Jackson from the grave. I don't give a damn who you bring.
Well, you would put R. Kelly over Michael Jackson.
Yes. By far.
Cut it out.
By far.
No.
By far. By far. And the people who like me would too. Who grew up like me. You know, everybody grew up in different situations.
You put R. Kelly over Prince.
Yes. I only know Purple Rain. Fuck. What else I know? I know Purple Rain. I love it.
Little Red Corvette.
Little Red Corvette, yeah.
1999.
No.
When Doves Cry.
When Doves Cry.
Yes, that one. Kiss.
Oh.
That one.
Yes.
Okay, that's a lot of hits I'm naming for you right now.
That is not a lot compared to motherfucking R. Kelly. That is not compared to R. Kelly. I'm sorry. I got to speak for him. I might get dragged about it, but
you're gonna get dragged. It's cool.
I know, but
it's a generation thing.
Yeah,
it's a generation.
R. Kelly is the greatest to me.
I'm